Hello, this is Noel Camilotes for Entertainment Media, and this is ChatterBox. Hello, this is Noel Camilotes for Entertainment Media, and I'm here at Anime Magic Year 5, 5th year anniversary, and I'm here with Jonathon Santiago, one of the board members here at Anime Magic. This is our annual thing.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, if we don't do this every year, I kind of feel like I missed a big part of the show. So thanks for sitting down with me again, man. It's really cool.
Sure thing. Well, I wanted to start off by thanking you guys for all these years so far with the convention. You guys have tried, you brought it up during the showcase, you guys try so many different new things, and it's always a breath of fresh air with this convention. You guys really reach out, and then again at the showcase you open it up for people to bring up, concerns, everything. Sure. One of the things I wanted to start off by asking you is, what are some of your fond memories over these 5 years? Because this has been a lot of years that's gone by already.
It has. One of my fondest memories of directing for Anime Magic has got to be. I know it sounds insane because you would think this is like the last thing anybody would be fond of in any way. Is 2021 at the Crown Plaza when that event shut down, erroneously shut down some of the programming we were working on. It was. That's the sort of thing where you could go to 25 conventions in the Midwest, and that won't happen. We had a true phenomenon. It was like you could get struck by lightning on the white of your eye before something like that might happen again. But it happened to us, and it happened to us very early in our convention operating career in life. So we got, and the reason I'm so fond of it, and I bring that up, is because even though it was really a tough situation to be put in, I thrive under pressure. I love having my back against the wall. And I kind of feel like that moment and the way that it took shape and the way that it unfolded was a galvanizing moment for me and the rest of the board members for Anime Magic, because the first year, we were complete amateurs. We didn't know what we were doing. We had no idea what to say. We weren't sure. We just knew we wanted to build something positive. The second year, just like everybody, got robbed by COVID. We didn't have a second year. Mm-hmm. 2021 was a version of that show that we just kept building. We never stopped working. So we went into that year in 2021 still pretty green. And I think that we realized when we were able to handle that situation and do it in a way that I think was very professional, very graceful, and people figured out at that juncture, we did everything we could. We were twisting ourselves into a pretzel to make sure that our attendees and the community members were cared for and loved. I think that galvanized all of us into realizing that we are doing what we should be doing. We're doing the right thing. We are where we should be, and we're the right people for the job. So that's probably my most favorite memory. I know that's kind of a strange go-to, but yeah.
I mean, it is part of the history.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys have brought into Anime Magic that's not common at other conventions that you are most proud of?
I like to say that, and I said it during our showcase today, but I like to say that we're not afraid to throw things at the wall to see what sticks. A lot of, there are two minds on it. There are people who will come up to me and say, you've got some programming spaces that are a little basic. They're very simple. There's not a lot of decor. What the hell is that? Why are you doing that? And then you've got other people who understand exactly what we're trying to do, which is, hey, you know what? I really appreciate the fact that you all are trying weird stuff. That you all are I've not seen this thing at a con before. A good example this weekend is our jam room. That was a very loosely conceived idea, and we just wanted to see whether people would engage it at all. And the person running that room came to me and said, huge success, I really want to do this again. Let's expand it. And we already have a ton of ideas to expand it. We tested that, it worked, people like it. We're probably going to bring that back. We hosted for the first time ever specifically a room for Beyblade events and Beyblade tournaments. Massively attended. Like whatever me and the person who put that together could have hoped it would be, it was better than. And proof that we touched on something that might be an uncommon idea, but it was a good one, and everybody enjoyed it. We're trying to figure out what you all like. And sometimes we do these little things that are framework. It's the basic building blocks for programming that could be great. And if you go to a room and it seems a little barren or a little strange or a little odd, some people go like, you tacked that on. You're absolutely right, we did. We tacked it on to test it and play with it and see if there's engagement. There's 3 or 4 things we tried this year. Didn't work. Not going to do it again. That's what it's for. It's to find the things that you do like to keep the con fresh every year so that you're not getting copy-paste programming every year. We could do that. And I'm sure a lot of you would still come and hopefully have fun. We don't want to do that. I'm going to try and at least freshen it up enough for you guys to be excited for something new every year.
Okay. Well, one of the things, excuse me, that was talked about, you guys already had been advertising about it already, and are even selling the passes now. You guys have another convention now that you've started up.
Yeah, we do. Anime Magic Inked, which is our tattoo-themed anime convention coming up. A little bit of a different show than this one, I think.
How different is it going to be?
You know,
you talked a little bit about it in
yeah.
the showcase, but
the big question we get is what makes the show different from Anime Magic? What is it about this show? Why should I buy another badge to your show a few months down the line here? It is, first of all, it's going to be a more relaxed show in one way. At this point, you know, we have a medium-sized show here for the region doing really well. Anime Magic Inc. will be a first-year show. It's going to be at the Hyatt. It's going to take place entirely on the international level down here in the basement. It's a first-year show. So it's going to be so much more relaxed for us, even as directors. I think we'll be able to spend more time with everybody's attendees. But the biggest difference between this one and that one is Anime Magic as a con has developed a reputation for being mostly pretty family-friendly. Anime Magic Inc. is going to be a little edgier, which I kind of joked. It's got more teeth than Anime Magic. And I hate to use that, but we're leaning into tattoo culture a little bit more. A lot of the music choices we're making, I think, are a little bit more focused on rock bands and metal bands and things that fit inside of the culture a little bit better. It's near Halloween time. You know, it basically starts on the overlap of Halloween into the start of the weekend. So we're going to have some elements of that are a little bit more pronounced. And then we're hoping to take some of our nightlife programming and make it a little more adult. You know, we have tons of adult programming at Magic, but a lot of it's panels. I can't tell you what we're working on because I'm building something custom from the ground up for it that is a heavy lift, and it's something that I think that attendees will really, really love, but holy cow is it hard to curate because it requires a lot of people to make it happen well. But it is adult themed, it is fun, and I think you guys are going to go wild for it if it comes to pass. So I don't ever want to promise anything I can't deliver, so I don't want to talk about it now. But I think a lot of it's going to be a little more edge, a little more adult, just a little more nightlife that way, and you know, it's going to separate the programming a little bit that way.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've got also next year already planned out. So the dates are, we're looking at with August 24th through 26th.
Yeah. We're not doing it Labor Day weekend next year, you know, which a lot of people asked us about that. Just so that we're clear, we were originally scheduled to be the middle of August, but you know, the Democratic National Convention came through and the hotel had to move contracts around. So just so you know, all of you out there that are upset at us for being on Labor Day weekend, that was not our choice. We would much rather have been elsewhere, but it's okay. It's part of doing business. It happens. Next year, we are not going to be on Labor Day weekend, so you all can look forward to the show in approximately the same space that you're used to. Badges are already for sale. They're already live. You can buy them now. I highly recommend buying them now while they're at the low tier pricing. And it's going to be easy. You can also buy Anime Magic Inc. badges now too. The event's selling really well, but anybody can go buy one right now. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got the theme. Every year there's a theme. So
Yes.
this year was I heard you do ice cream and everything.
Yeah.
Next year is a beach. So is that any hint as what to expect for next year?
Yeah, it's like a beach party, and every year we try to change the theme, you know. And you'll see the video is probably going to be, by the time this interview is available, is going to be up on YouTube. You'll see our announcement video for next year's theme, where the beach party theme is basically our mascots. Mizuki is going to be a lifeguard. Himari is a professional sandcastle builder, which is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then Yuki is going to be a scuba diver. So we like to think of ourselves when we're not on Labor Day weekend, as kind of the summer last hurrah for cons for the region, right before everyone goes back to school and kind of gets back into, college semester starting, and, just summer ending and leading into fall. So we decided to lean into that a little bit for next year and try to put a little bit more of a party vibe into it for the show for next year. So
Okay.
yeah.
One last thing
Sure.
I wanted to ask. If anyone has any suggestions or anything they wanted to talk to you guys about,
Yeah.
you guys have I think, what is it, Google Doc? Or
Yeah, I adjust these forms and kind of create them for you based on all of the custom content we do for the year. But we do a feedback form every single year, usually, the week after the show or within 2 weeks of completion of the show, just because we have to wrap up so much and let the dust settle for a moment. But it's high priority for me to get that out to you all. And we want your feedback. I said it at our showcase. Good, bad, and ugly. You don't have to be nice. We had somebody who had some harsh criticisms for some of the programming choices we made this year live at that event, and I answered them right there on stage because transparency is important to us, and we want to make sure that you all know what we're trying to do. I think intent is 9/10 of the law, right? And without context, people sometimes just make assumptions about things. We would rather you all tell us what you think sucked about the show. I say it every year in the interview I do with you. Tell me what didn't work. We can't fix it for you if we don't know what's broken. Please, yeah, when those feedback forms go live, you'll see it on our socials. You'll see it in our community Discord. Tell me what you loved. Tell me what you thought was okay. Tell me what you thought was just trash. And we'll take a look at it and see if we can make any of those things better. Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Anytime.
As usual, our annual talk and
Yeah.
everything at the end of the con. Well, this is Ian Camilotes for Entertainment Media, and thank you for listening.